Well, hello, model car fans. It's Brian, and we're back again with another Why Did I Keep This Wednesday? Oh, I love that name. And what we have here is the Revell Corvette. I think this is the 58, if I remember correctly. I'm pulling this all out of memory. It was about 8 years when I built this guy, about 8 years ago. And I remember distinctly the thing about this kit was this one I built, and it was all suggestions done by Mrs. BG. She suggested the wheel and tire options. She suggested the color scheme. As a matter of fact, she even mixed this color paint herself. This is a mixture of those little square jars of Testor's paints. And it was a hot pink and a pearl flip-flop, I think it was. And she came up with this custom mixture here, and we kind of called it candy strawberry. That was kind of a joke to us because we like candy apple red, of course, but candy strawberry seemed to be a fun way to describe this color. Another thing about this kit is this one I actually sprayed a clear coat over, but this one was it was the 2X. I think it was the 2X. I want to say it was Rust-Oleum 2X. It didn't seem like it reacted with the paint at all, so I felt like it was a good call. I think that was actually an enamel. And we went back and then polished out the paint, and this is or polished out the clear. And the funny thing is, it hasn't really survived as well as the one we did with the Future. I don't know why. It's just the way things work, but it is what it is, you know? So, yeah, this one we're definitely keeping for as long as we can because Mrs. BG, it was our first collaboration on a model kit, and I just love the fact that she wanted to participate in a way like mixing the paint and then picking out some of the options that the kit came with. These are the kit supplied tires, but they have like the original style skinny wheels with the cool looking hubcaps, and they have these really cool looking Krager-esque wheels, I want to say, or maybe more like a Coddington style perhaps. But I really liked them because they made me think of Hot Wheel wheels, you know, the wheels that we see on the Hot Wheels cars. This was a very fun kit to build, and if you're not familiar with this kit, I really think you should check it out because if I found another one in a swap meet or whatever, I'd definitely pick it up because I remember enjoying the build on this. And I, in the past, always felt that perhaps AMT did a really good job with their vets, but then I built this guy. I was like, no, this is definitely the way to go. Now, I did do the silver scallops on the sides, as you see here, of course. I don't recall if those are period correct for the automobile. I know in 1960 they stopped for sure, but I can't recall if 58 they still had the scallops on the side. But Mrs. BG requested that we do that, so we did, and we had a heck of a time trying to cut the masking around such shallow areas here. The molding on that was very, very shallow, so it was very, very difficult to get the masking cut just right so we can paint that silver in there. And yeah, it was, I remember that being quite the headache. And I had to go back and fix that masking several times. But I do like how it came out. We'll take a look inside here real quick. The interior is very, very basic. A very, very basic paint job, I should say. So let's take a peek inside there. And there we go. We just did white seats, white door cards, body color dash, and dash waterfall. And I do believe, yes, I actually coated these wheels with, I think, some flat coat lacquer to dull them down a little bit because I thought they looked pretty cool that way. Otherwise, they were bright, shiny. And there were some weird little decals that go inside all the mags that were like flame-like or something, if I remember correctly. A little bit odd, bit of an odd choice. But let's take a peek under the hood. That seems stuck. Let's look at that closer. Okay, so funny story, that hood is glued shut, and I don't recall if I glued it shut or if the paint, it's going back to Greg Brady here, the paint was probably a little on the wet side when we put the hood in, and it is now permanently all one piece. So I apologize about that, but it is what it is. And no, we're not cutting that out. We're going to leave that in for you guys to enjoy our little failure there. And anyway, though, we did have a really good time painting this one here, and it was a lot of fun working with Mrs. BG on this one here. The underside of the kit is pretty well detailed. Let's take a peek there. Pretty well detailed. I just didn't do a very good job of painting it all up. And back when all the bottoms of the cars were just flat black, not a lot of creativity there on my part, but I did want to get it done, I suppose. Especially after having so many problems with polishing that clear coat that was on this guy, because there are a lot of lumps and bumps all over this car. And you can probably see, it's pointed out right here, we burned through the paint right there. And there is a lot of swirl marks on there. So we were practicing polishing out the paint, but we weren't getting to a good point where we could wax it, I guess is the best thing. Because I think if I gave this thing a coat of wax, it probably would have survived a lot better than just trying to polish the clear coat and not going any farther than that. But yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, by the way, the decals on this, the decals for the lettering, it's all one piece, and the carrier film disappeared in there really, really well, and the cross flags. I always like it when they have decals for the emblems. It's so much easier than having to go back and try and touch up and highlight or something like that as if they were molded to the body. So yeah, and then there are some kits where the body is molded with the script work, and I tend to go back and sand that off and then go back and put the decal over the area, because sometimes the decal doesn't match up very well with. You guys probably know what I'm talking about, but yeah, sometimes it's easier to just get rid of the script and then go back and probably try to do the decal. All right, so there we have it. That's this week's selection. Thank you all for joining us again. Appreciate that very, very much. Sorry we couldn't get the hood open. That was a little weird. I might have to take a look at that on the bench here and find out what's going on there. But I don't recall very much under the hood being of significant value, I guess would be a good way to say that. So there we go. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in again. We know there are many, many channels out there you could spend your time watching, but we appreciate the fact that you spent time with us. And of course, if you made it this far in the video, it is cookie time. All right, y'all. Take it easy, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye now. Oh, okay. Every time I switch on the camera, somebody calls. I got to put this thing in airplane mode.